Joey and friends here to save the day. Talking about dolls and making our own way. Talking to visionaries, dreamers, and kin. Anyone can play here cause we all fit in. From Darcy to Body, from Dawn to Glimmer. We talk about world as the lights go dimmer. Follow us to a playground filled with stories. And let us entertain you with tales of our glories.
Oh my God.
I know it's official. So, well, welcome, Barry Sturgill. We are so happy to have you here and to be able to talk with you. I've been so inspired through the years by your magical, colorful photographs. You couldn't open up a Barbie magazine without seeing one of your beautiful photographs, and they always brought me so much joy and happiness. And also, you're world renowned for your collection and also for vintage Barbie artwork that you do.
Oh, thank you. Gosh, thank you. You're too kind.
And we're just really excited. So I'm gonna just jump into it and ask the first question of what brought you to this crazy world of dolls and Barbie, you know?
Um, I was in a vintage clothing kit store here in Seattle about in the early 80s, maybe 83. And I was looking through some stuff and I found that little sort of olive brownish jacket that goes to Ken's Dreamboat. And I pulled it out and it amazed me. And I wore clothes like that when that was my era. I
Yeah.
thought, oh my God, this is fantastic. And I thought, and it just something in my little head just went boing. And so I did some research and I found out that there was a Barbie club in town and there were doll shows. And so, yeah, that's how I got started with that.
So did you have like a childhood experience at all? I know that you're a boy, and I know that times were so different back in the day, but I guess it
You
also depended
know,
on the parents and the family and how they reacted towards things. But
yeah,
do you have something in your memory from
I
childhood?
do. I do. Uh, you know, my parents were so kind and indulgent that if I had asked them for a Barbie, maybe not initially, but I could have definitely worn them down and they would have just given me one because that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
They were very kind people. However, I thought I knew boys don't do this. So I thought, no, no. However, I just sublimated all that through my sister. So I remember we went to the store called Value Mart in Spokane, and you could get Barbies for about $2, $1.97, whatever it was. And I was going to get her a bubble cup Barbie. Well, we got there and they were out of Barbies, but they were full of midges, so I got her a midge. And then the next holiday, her birthday or Christmas, I got her an Allen, and then I get her an outfit for Midge and an outfit for Allen, and she still has them and she likes them, but she wasn't as enchanted by them as I was.
I love that though. I love how you were able to kind of like you felt a connection to those things and you were
Oh,
like, well,
oh
I'll
yeah,
purchase them for my sister.
oh yeah. Well, and also your little kid, in the early '60s, seeing these Barbie commercials on TV, it's like, boing, and also the Christmas catalogs. I had Sears Ward's Christmas catalog. The pictures, in fact, that's what inspired me to also more to become a photographer too. Is that I'd see these wonderful setups that they had, and the dolls were all like standing by themselves. They weren't, and I thought, oh my God, I want to do that. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, no, no great artsy thing, just straight catalog photography. That's what inspired me.
That's amazing though. There's nothing like your photography. I mean, and when
No,
I
gosh,
when I think of your photography, I think of bright and joyous because you 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 take us into this world, yes, of Barbie that we know, but the way that you're able to tell that story through your photography, through the brightness of your photographs, it
oh,
really
yeah.
does bring this joy every time I see some of your work, and I always know it's you. I always look at I'm like, that's Barry's photo, you know.
That's me. Are we doing that thing again?
You
Yeah.
can't, I mean, I was going through just some of my magazines earlier, and sorry, Skipper, I'm gonna set you down, but you
Don't
know,
touch the paper up now.
anywhere you go, a casual affair. We
Right.
have cardboard castles,
Yeah, yeah,
and this
yeah.
and this one, which I thought was so cool, like prototypes, just
Yeah.
anywhere you looked, there was Barry in the magazines, and it's such a joy. I feel really honored too to be able to speak with you today and hear a little bit about your inspirations for things and what got you started on this career path. I find it so fascinating. We all share that love for dolls and for Barbie, and you just really there's so many memories that are connected to you. Just the other day, I was talking to
Wow.
Amy Sprouse. She is from Tiny Ribbon Studio, and she does these
Yeah.
beautiful
He's
repaints. And
fantastic. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
yeah, and we were talking, and we were laughing, talking about how we met, which was over Darcy 20 plus years ago. I was collecting Darcy, and then I came across this portfolio I had, and here on the
Yeah.
front cover is your, photograph of Darcy. And I was thinking to myself, what a small world, how we're so interconnected, even though we don't realize, here I'm friends with Amy. You did photography for her. I had connections to you just through the magazines. Anyways, it's a sweet little world that we live in, and I love how closely and interconnected we all are.
No, thank you. Yeah, yeah, it's really cool, and especially since with the internet now, we realize just how we're more connected than ever. But before, we were just kind of going, but
Yeah.
yeah, now we truly are connected.
What you said catalog photographs are kind of what was your inspiration? What was the story behind your first like working with dolls and photographing them?
Oh, well, I was going to photography school because I really wanted to learn studio lighting. And I think that's one of my strengths is the lighting. And I use regular full size photo lights, strobe lights that you could use for, photographing a human model. But yeah, they're all just aimed on this little tabletop thing with these dolls on. But yeah, the lighting is so important. And uh, I had access to the studio weekdays, but I was in my 30s then, and all my friends were working, so I had a hard time finding models. So I know I had the dolls. Well, I'll just bring some of the dolls in and set them up. And I lit them. I said, "Wow, this looks pretty cool." And I got started in that, and I got started with Barbie Bazaar because a friend of mine did an article for them, and I did the photos for it. Her name is Gail Elam. Uh,
Oh, I know Gail Elam.
right,
I
and
I did a doll show with her years
oh,
ago.
oh yeah. I mean, she was one of the first people I knew who really was very knowledgeable about it, and she was a real fountain of information. I thought, wow, she really knows what she's doing here. So I did her photos, and then they published them. I think it was in the second issue, and I called Marlene and Karen Cavial, yes, yeah. So I called Karen and Marlene and I talked to them and I said, I'd like to work for your magazine, and they said, okay. And so I just submitted my first article, and then it just yeah took off from there. And then after a while, when they started doing Pote Doll magazine, then I also worked for them with that, and I got an opportunity to photograph other type dolls, which was great, really
Yeah.
fun.
What do you think your favorite project through the years that you worked on? What would be your like most
Oh,
memorable?
Barbie in Japan,
Yeah.
Bar-
Such a
Barbie in
beautiful book.
Barbie in
Oh,
Japan.
yes, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, that has an interesting story behind it too. Uh, the collector whose collection is pictured in the book, Keiko Shibano, and I think her last name has changed. I think she has. Anyway, she sent me half of her collection from Japan to Seattle for me to photograph, and I did, and I did that, and I'm going, oh God, please don't burn down now, house, and please, please don't burn down. Which I mean, it never did before. It hasn't since, and why would I be worried about that? But anyway, uh, I shot those. I sent them back. She sent the other half of her collection. I shot those and sent them back. And so I got to, it was a huge job, and it took months, but it was really fun to just have that stuff there, and to be able to, well, I don't want to say play with it, but I mean, experience it. Uh, it was an honor that she trusted me with that. I mean, even then, it was $1 zillion worth of Barbies,
Oh yeah.
So I was very honored that she trusted me to do that.
And that's another thing that people don't think about is the responsibility that you have when you're being sent these rare prototypes and expensive dolls. And yeah,
Oh, oh,
yeah.
I'm telling you, and I had a really good working relationship with Mattel after a while, and they would send me anything I wanted. They'd send me production samples. When the
Wow.
35th anniversary dolls came out, they sent me a prototype of it, and it was painted. The doll was actually made of blue plastic that had been painted flesh tone.
Wow.
We got the blue plastic. That was a trip. But anyway, through the years, Mattel always really trusted me with their stuff. I always returned it. I had a great relationship with Robert Best, or I did a series of articles on silk stones, and he would send me his presentation boards where he'd have the fabric swatches and the sketches on them. And again, I felt so honored. It's like, oh my God, this is fantastic, and they trust me with it. But I never messed anything up. But and I always sent it back to them. And I got to also meet some really fantastic people. The magazine, I was doing an article on about 1999, 2000 on rock star dolls, and Bill Greening had just been hired at Mattel, and he was doing the Jam and Glam dolls
Yeah.
with the scalp that turns around.
The Tuesday Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, mine doesn't turn around. There's nothing in
Right.
back anyway. So, uh, and I met Bill when I did the article, and we've been friends ever since. And so I've always gotten really wonderful cooperation from Mattel.
That's so awesome. I love hearing that. I mean, and it takes that kind of love and care and connection. I'm really good friends with Ernesto Padro Campos,
Oh
who's
yeah.
a
Oh,
photographer,
so
and
cool.
man, let me tell you, that man, he had taken some of my really early work, my very like my archaic sculpts and dolls I was making, and he was so sweet. He saw something in me and what I was doing, and he said, "Let me photograph your dolls," and I sent him my dolls. And he's photographed so many collections of my work that now my portfolio and seeing my what do you call it, my growth, my evolution
Yeah.
through Ernesto's photography of what I've done.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for having people like that, friends who are like, we believe in you and we're gonna do this. And so I think that's so cool
Yeah,
how
you can
you were
tell.
able to build a connection with everybody and Robert Best and whatnot. That's so fantastic.
I love Ernesto's stuff. It's so rich. It's almost like a painting.
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
definitely,
Perfect.
definitely. So what do you think your favorite, like when we're talking Barbie, who is your favorite character to work with?
Oh, you mean photo
Because I
wise?
know you really enjoy obviously like Skipper and Scooter and Ricky.
Well,
Is
yeah,
there
I love those in my collection, and I really love having them. Yeah, Alan and Dorky Midge, and I really love them. But uh, it- obviously, Barbie's the most fun to photograph because she's the most photogenic, and she has the most stuff going on.
Right, right.
Look, I'm a brain surgeon. Look, I'm an airline pilot.
Yeah. And looking fashionable every step of the way.
Yeah.
So, what got you into your paintings?
Oh, those are hand colored photographs,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. When I was in photography school, hand colored photos became very, very hot. And so we shoot on black and white film, and then I'd print the photos out in the lab with all these like really dangerous chemicals. And then I used photo paints and photo pencils.
Wow.
And I experimented with it, uh, I figured out it's much better to do really simple things because I did this one of Barbie wearing the apple print sheath. She's shopping downtown, I think at Nordstrom's here in Seattle. And I was, oh my God, I have to color all those little apples in.
Oh,
So I found out that the simpler it is, and I did one with Solo the Spotlight, and I had to like color in every one of those little things.
that's the one that
You
I
know,
remember the most is the solo in the spotlight. That's the one that sticks out in my
there,
mind.
there's also the most infamous one, which has mostly been under wraps because it's a bit controversial. But let me show that to you.
Yes,
Here, we're
please.
we're going to move around the room here.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Let's see. Oh, this is the
Oh, she's smoking.
famous Barbie smoking
You
photo.
caught her smoking off
I got
camera. That's
I
so
caught her smoking.
beautiful.
Yeah, so I mean that's not even her real hand, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, yeah, I
I've
made
done
I
shots
made
like that where you have to have the other doll's hand coming into the screen to be
but it's
the
very convincing, and obviously they can't pose like that, but it's very convincing.
It's so
So
fantastic.
I kind of had to keep that hidden because I didn't want Mattel to get mad at me since I had to do it. So I made a few prints of that and sold just a very few of them. But anyway, I don't think Mattel cares anymore.
No, no. And I mean, it kind of gives an homage to Build Lily in a sense, because I think that she smoked in her comic strip. And so
Yeah, Lily, she was a racy one.
she was racy. And she's actually what really inspired me on my Miss Mary Magpie dolls that I
Oh yeah,
make,
oh yeah.
is that kind of that balance between keeping it classy but having a little bit of raciness in it, like Marlena Dietrich,
Oh
having
yeah.
something to leave people talking, but also making it not pornographic.
Yeah, I was I was mentioning to a friend that I was going to be doing this interview, and I showed him a photo of some of your dolls. It was one that Ernesto had done. It was like all of them, all the different ones all together. And he's not a doll person. He says, "Oh my God, those are fantastic." I thought,
Aw.
well, see, there you go. There you go.
And I have people like you to thank for where I am in the world because growing up, being a young gay male, it was against the rules. It was not something that it was taboo to be, a male and to be interested in dolls. And I got to see these fantastic role models like yourself and Ernesto and Bill Greening and Robert Tonner and Mel Odom that were men that were
Yeah.
evolutionizing the doll world. And growing up, I'm just so grateful for you guys to have taken that step and leap because you opened the door wide open for hundreds of thousands of youth that experienced the same things that we did that now can feel like they can express themselves because you paved that road for them?
Well, that is so kind and so gracious of you. And I have to say that in the pre-internet days, you do your I worked in television and other media before, and uh, you do your work and you send it off, and you have no idea the impact that it has on people. And
Yeah.
I, unless someone wrote a fan letter to the magazine, I wouldn't know that it had touched them. But again, since the internet, and I was talking with a friend of mine, Matt Sky, the other day. He's a pretty fantastic Barbie Bill Lilly collector, and it was so sweet about how my photography had touched him. And I thought, God, I wish I'd known that at the time.
Yeah.
Because you put it out there, you don't know. This little weirdo writing these articles and doing these photos. You don't know. But and especially lately, I've had a lot of people tell me how much it touched them and affected them. And gosh, I'm so honored. I'm so glad I did it. I'm so
I'm so
happy.
glad you did it. And I hope that you are now feeling the love and praise for all of those years of work because
Oh, I am.
I
Oh,
know
yeah.
it's a
Oh, yeah.
thankless job, especially then when you didn't have the internet and you didn't have that connection for people to tell you what it meant to them. And now you do. And that's another reason why I wanted to have this platform and to be able to talk with the greats like yourself because
I don't
we
know
want
about
a
that.
glimpse inside your brain and how this all happened for you. And it's just it's so wonderful. I'm so thankful for people like you in the world, Barry.
Thank you, Josh. You're
You've
so sweet. Thank you.
so on your process, you were talking to me about how things have changed so much with digital cameras and
Oh,
what
yeah.
your
Oh,
original
yeah.
process was, and how nobody can really duplicate that without using, the process that you used.
Yeah, in the early days, I had to, I was using professional slide film because that was the standard for publication then. And but I used an ectochrome type process that could be uh, processed in an hour. And I'd go and I'd and then I'd go through the pictures and I'd put them in a sleeve and mail them off to the magazine. And, yes, digital has been a lot easier and a lot cheaper. My God, you had $10 for the film, $10 for the processing, probably $15 for the postage. And so, yeah, now it's just zip, send it right off. And digital cameras did allow me to be a much better photographer because I take one shot, yeah, I don't like that. Let's move that planter over a little bit. I don't like that. Oh, well, there's a hair sticking out. Meh, meh, meh. And you just can refine and refine and refine. And to the point where you have to stop. Okay, looks great. Stop. Just stop refining.
Right,
This looks
right.
fine. Time to stop now. But yeah, it made me a really much more precise and exacting photographer. Maybe kind of anal retentive, really, but but you have to be really anal retentive. You have to be very detail oriented. When I started working for the mag for Bazaar, I thought people don't want to see ratty dolls in print. They
No.
want to see really pretty dolls, so they can think, uh, especially a new collector could think, wow, someday maybe if I play my cards right, I can have a doll like that. And so I was, yes. Also, again, about shooting on film, there was no Photoshop. The magazine had rudimentary Photoshop because it was actually developed for the print industry, Macintosh-based print technology. But yeah, there was no way to correct anything for me, so have to shoot these photos and just be as detailed. I mean, there's a hair out of place or there's dust on something. Uh, yeah, it was really hard, man. It was really hard. Plus, you're shooting on film, and you're kind of shooting blind. You don't get that immediate return there. That immediate feedback. And so, yeah, that was just it was a lot more. It was a lot harder. Digital has made it so much easier.
Yeah. I know from just the little tiny bit of photography that I've done, where I've created a setup and I've put so much work and time and love into creating this set and getting the dolls to do what I want them to do. And then I take all this photography, then I take everything down, and then I went back and I look through the photos and I go, oh no. And I enlarge, and here's this big fleck of dust sitting on their nose and one hair going across the face, and you're like, no, I put way too much time into this.
But yeah, that's the way it goes.
Right, right.
But you can fix it now, and it's pretty easy with a little photo minute program. It's
Right, right. So working with the magazine and working with, I mean, you worked with tons of different collectors and artists,
oh yeah,
photographing
oh
their
yeah,
dolls.
and yes, a lot of other people. And again, I'm so honored that they trusted me. Wonderful people sent me wonderful dolls, and I got to experience them and then send them back. And yeah, everything. I never had a problem. Uh,
What do you think the rarest thing that you got to handle and photograph would be?
well, I mean, a lot of the stuff in the Barbie in Japan book is pretty rare, but at one time, uh, Marl Davidson had one of those resin prototype Barbies.
Yeah.
You
Oh, I
see,
remember those.
there's
Yeah.
a blonde one and kind of a chestnut. The one she had was kind of a chestnut one, and then it was like a redhead. I've seen, so I think three or four of those exist. But yeah, it was. She wanted me to photograph it for, I think, insurance purposes. She had just received it, and she was in Seattle for a doll show, I think. So yeah, I went over to a friend's house and we photographed it there. But it, it's it was it's resin, and all like the little fingers, like the it's all resin. And I thought, oh, God, this thing, please don't drop it. And so at that point, I think now this is early '90s, so my memory's a little bit hazy on that, but I think she had paid around $15,000 for it, which then was, you know, now I can't imagine what those go now. Plus, they're in collections, and I haven't really seen one for a while. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's certainly the rarest thing I've ever photographed.
That's amazing. Wow. To be able to have your hands on something like that and to like, that's so cool.
But that was a nice thing about being, again, like I said, I experienced those dolls, the Keiko's Japanese dolls, and all the other lovely stuff that people sent me. And so, in a way, I didn't feel that I needed to own it. And like I said, I got to play with it,
Yeah.
and I just send it off back to the original owner. So it was very satisfying in that way.
Well, yeah, and also satisfying because those pieces become part of your work because you photographed them, you know? So even if they're a piece that's something rare from a collector, you in some way have this connection and ownership of the photograph that you took of that item, and that's so cool and fun. So in your own collection. What do you think your like favorite pieces that you own out of your years of collecting?
Hmm, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Right?
The people want to know, Barry.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, hey, I'll show you one right here. I have a lot of dolls that I've owned since the '80s, and so they're like old friends, and they've also been uh, photographed quite a bit. So I have this doll
Oh, she's
right here,
incredible. Wow.
who is Miss 1962 in the Barbie
Wow.
catalog reprint book with her sporty little tennis racket there. Can you see that? There
I
you go.
love it. That's so beautiful.
And let's see. Oh, here's here's the smoking doll. Here's the
Yes.
smoking Barbie right there. Oh, she's getting kind of greasy, isn't she? Oh
Yeah,
well.
she's beautiful.
And let's see.
I love that
And
you have these out here ready for us.
oh yes, I thought, who needs to B-roll it when I can just pick it up and show it to the camera? Well, I have I did a Barbie collecting online magazine, or doll collecting online magazine, called That Doll about 10 years ago, and I did an article on swimsuits or something. Anyway, I had
Oh, she's a
this
gorgeous number three. She is
this number
beautiful.
three, and I shot a shot of her on the beach and blah blah. So I live in a pretty small apartment. And of course, you want your storage to preserve the dolls, but I also want them to all be able to go away. So they're not, sometimes, I have some dolls out, but I want to try to keep them out of the light to preserve them, especially
Yeah.
the fashions. And I just don't want to turn into one of those people with dolls in the bathroom and dolls in the dining room and
You mean
dolls in the
me?
kitchen and dolls in the living room and dolls
Right.
in your bedroom. I I don't want to be one of those people yet.
When I was
Yet.
single, it was so hard to date, let me tell you. And especially if you were like, they were like, let's go back to your place. No,
Yeah.
no, that's okay.
Oh,
There's
no,
other
no, no.
places we can go. And then I would have to condition, on the dates, I would have to like kind of like tell them what I do. And I'd be like, oh, I'm an artist. Oh, what kind of artist do you do? Well, I sculpt adult collectible figures, like
Large busted one 1/6 scale figures.
right, right.
They're
And
action figures.
and so yeah, it would be, I lived in a really small place and have a pretty extensive collection, so it was
Yeah,
very
I
hard
can see
to
that. I can see
hide.
that.
Yeah, it's hard to hide. So
I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I'm
no, no,
sorry.
no, you no, you didn't. I just was gonna say I'm one of those nerds that dolls are everywhere. But thank goodness, the partners that I've found within my life have been okay with it and stuff. So that's good, because it is part of who I am and what I enjoy. But
Oh, especially after all this time, it's just what it is, and
yeah,
I say, also my friends have been amazingly, and most of them like it, been amazingly supportive. And no one's ever dared to say anything negative to me
right.
about it. No, 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 no.
No, I love that. This is personal to you because you collect, and then it also became part of your journey as an artist with your photography. You have a very personal connection to Barbie. And does that stay strong for you today? Is that
Oh,
something
yeah.
that
Yeah, it really does. Sometimes I just think about those dolls, go, God, I just love these so much. Yeah, that has never changed.
I
So
love
it's a good
that?
hobby. So that's a
Yeah,
good hobby.
it's a really good hobby. Yeah.
My photography is just a little quickie here. It's like, depending on the photo, I want each photo to like tell a little story
Yeah.
or at least have like a mood to it. So especially if there are multiple dolls in a shot, they're all relating to each other in a certain way. And as a fashion photography convention is at least one doll is looking in the lens. They're making eye contact with the lens, and I think it's just, it's like fashion, like a Vogue cover. The models are looking in the lens. So uh, I always do that. And anyway, that's it.
I love that. Well, for the young people that are inspired by you and have been inspired by you, and the young photographers of the world that are enjoying taking photographs of their dolls, is there
No,
any kind of advice or anything that you can give them for their journey on what they're doing?
but photography type advice.
Mhm.
Well, one thing, I am amazed at the quality of photos, especially on the internet. Some of the Facebook doll groups. I'm amazed at how good some people are. It's like, whoa, my God! And these little cell phone cameras are getting pretty good.
They
Uh,
are, they are.
so I have to say, yeah. Uh, mostly my advice to a lot of people is the default lens in your cell phone camera is a slightly wide angle lens. And so a lot of people will take a photo of the doll and it looks perfectly good, but the head is really big and the feet are like down to little tiny points. So I said, try to like step back and maybe just do a slight telephoto and try to get down so you're looking straight and you're not looking, say the doll is here, you're not looking down on it, you're not looking up, you're looking straight at the doll. And that it makes it so the doll appears like it does in real life. Then
Yeah.
it does, it's not distorted.
I just it's funny you said that because I just had that problem, and I really hadn't experienced it that much, but I had just created a new doll and I was photographing
Oh,
her,
oh yes. Oh yes.
and
The Don Bluth,
yes,
Don Bluth.
the Xanadu doll, the yes.
Yes,
And I
yes. Oh
was
my gosh,
trying
I
to
just saw that.
photograph her, and that is exactly what was happening to me, exactly what you're talking about. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me why it was creating this illusion that wasn't real, but wasn't giving me what I wanted from the doll because the doll's very tall and thin, but it made her very squat, and yeah,
Yeah, it happens a lot. Quite honestly, for me, it's a lot easier to just use a real camera,
yeah.
set everything. Because phone camera, I don't know what settings, I don't know what the shutter speed is, I don't know what the aperture or the ISO equivalent is. I don't know. Camera's doing all that for me, but it's just so much easier to use a real camera. Set this, I'm with this, da da da, set it, take it.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of work. It's a lot, it's a lot of work. And like you said, like that perfection of being able to catch the dust beforehand, catch the hairs beforehand,
I
making
was
sure
never
that,
that detail oriented before I started doing this. But it's like now it's affected other parts of my life too. It's like, oh,
right.
there's a speck of dust over there. It's like, ah. So
What is your journey right now? Are you just
uh,
retired? Are you still working on things?
I'm not working on any doll stuff or publication stuff anymore. I would everyone tells me, hey, do a photo book, do a photo book. But I don't want to self-publish it because then you have to pay for it and then you end up with a garage full of books. Um, but I went Carol Spencer uh recently did her volume on it, Dressing Barbie, and that was with a major publisher. I forgot who it was, but it was like Random House or somebody. And uh, yeah, I want a book deal with a real publisher, and I want to advance and let them do all the distribution. And also having a book signing tour would be
Yes.
would be a lot of fun. So I do it under those conditions, but I'm not going to self-publish it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that
I got a
that
ton of
needs to
material.
happen, universe, world, people watching. That
You
needs
know,
to happen.
I've been so poopy, since the internet basically destroyed the hobby magazine industry,
Mhm.
and it's severely cut down on book publishing. I mean, it's really it's much more competitive. It's much harder to get a book published now. And also, even if you self-publish, it's more expensive to have a book published now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Everything's more expensive now.
yeah.
Yeah. I just really appreciate your work. I appreciate you. I'm really happy that we had a chance to kind of talk and find out a little bit about the insight, what you experienced doing this. And yeah, I'm just very grateful to have you here, and I'm excited to show off all of your. I'm not going to show every single thing that you did, but I'm excited to show off your work, so that it can continue. I mean, it's going to continue living on far past us, and
Okay.
this is.
Oh yeah.
And you're part of Barbie history. You
Yes,
are
so.
part of
Yes,
that.
so. Yes, so. Gosh. Yeah. It blows me away.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, I don't know what you feel comfortable with
Uh,
sharing. I know that
I'm
when
not
we
one
were
of those people who keeps their lasagna recipe secret. I will share with all.
Do you know
Anyone who
what
wants
I
to.
would love for you to share? I would love for you to tell the people how you managed to seamlessly have these dolls standing up.
Oh, oh yeah. Yeah, that was I figured out this way to do it where the stage or the floor that they're standing on is actually foam core board that's about 2 inches thick. And so I take a small finishing nail and I drive a little hole down there, and then I take a length of coat hanger wire about that long, and I just insert it down there. And the coat hanger wire is in back of the doll's leg, and I either like tape it to the back of the leg or put a rubber band on it. I put a little piece of tape on the end of it so it doesn't scratch the doll. And you notice, yeah, all the dolls that are standing by themselves, at least 1 foot is on the floor. I think that Darcy picture, I think the same thing. That's how I have her propped up too. But in some photos, you can kind of see it. You can at the bottom, you can like see a little bit of it. But mostly, yeah, I eat it, and it's uh, great for pants, man. Pants outfits. They slip that right on there. You do anything you want to with it. But
Right.
yeah, uh, so that's how I did it.
That's so ingenious though, because it's like an invisible stand.
It is. And, there was I figured the people who did the photos for the Sears and the Awards catalogs, I go, well, how did they get the dolls to do that? Well, maybe they did. I don't know if they did it that way, but so I just formulated that was my hypothesis. Well, maybe they did it this way.
I love
So
that.
anybody could do that. It's very easy. You just have to be sure that you have enough foam core at the bottom to make sure that the wire is very secure. It doesn't flop around.
Mhm. Do you remember, just real quick, I was thinking, do you remember when you were looking at catalog photographs of Barbie? Um, do you remember, was there anything in specific or anyone that like really caught your eye that you remember, like the Sears
Oh,
1969?
yeah. I think it was the Sears 1965 catalog had like this 12-page Barbie. Maybe it wasn't that long, but it was page after page of stuff and very, very rich photos. I mean, all the doll photography and in that book period was so rich and so beautiful, saturated color. And yeah, that's it's a spectacular Barbie section for a Christmas catalog.
That's so cool. Now I'm gonna have to deep dive and see if I can find those photos from that online.
Well, it's if you have, do you have one of the catalog reprint book? It's in here.
Oh,
Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. Here we go. Oh, I found it. This is, oh my God, I mean, just page after page. This is 1964, and it begins, it begins with this page, Skipper, ba 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 ba,
oh,
Miss
Miss
Barbie,
Barbie.
Barbie in college, to
Oh,
college,
wow.
and
Oh,
1600 fashions, and boat, got the boat, yeah. And
wow.
I meant this photo of right there of that platinum bubble in midnight blue. Oh
That,
my God. As a kid, I thought, oh my
that is so incredible.
God. And it keeps going on. Barbie's new dream house, la 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 la
Wow.
la la. And so
That's
it's a fantastic Barbie section.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
I could you imagine? I mean, I was born in 1978, so I didn't get to open up the 1964 Sears catalog to see that, but I could imagine as a child opening this up and seeing that, and it's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
Mom, you need Mom, we need to go to Sears right now.
That's what makes the vintage stuff so compelling to me because those were our toys,
Yeah.
you know. Eh, So
That's
mm,
beautiful. Awesome.
real special.
It is really special. And I love that you shared that with me because when you were saying like, oh, I was inspired by old catalog photos, it's like people sometimes probably think of, oh, very boring photos, and it's like, oh no, these were really beautiful.
Yeah, it was state of the art. It's really state of the art. Except the pennies catalog. I never liked the pennies photos. They was like washed out. Sorry, pennies.
Sorry, pennies.
Are there any pennies left? I don't know.
I'm not sure. But I know that was actually the J.C. Penney's when I was a kid. Like I said, I was born in 78. So the early 80s, the Sears and the Penny's catalogs were what I was going through. And I remember very vividly, my mom would hand us the catalogs and say, circle what you want for Christmas. We almost didn't ever get anything that we circled out of the catalog, but she would have us, do that. And I remember that strawberry shortcake had just come out. And I saw the little spread in J.C. Penney's catalog, and I was circling all the strawberry shortcake characters, and I want the strawberry case and all these things. And I think the most epic catalog memory I have was when Barbie's Magical Mansion came out, because that thing,
Oh,
man, I was just talking to Amy about, like, if you were a kid and you got that, your family had money, like that was a big to do.
it was, I think it was $125, I believe, retail then. Yeah,
Yeah,
a friend of mine has one. It's spectacular. She like wallpapered it and fixed it up on this. It's spectacular.
that's so amazing.
The, the doorbell rings, and I think doesn't the toilet flush or
I think
something?
it does. Yeah.
And then
And lights
there's
come
a
on.
blender in the kitchen, I think. Blender does something and yeah, really cool. Enormous, but cool.
Enormous. Yeah. I love that when looking back at toys, like especially from the 80s, they had the hugest play sets, the hugest doll houses. And I think back to my childhood and I think, oh, I grew up in a very middle class neighborhood, and they were decent sized houses. But as a kid, I never had a gigantic room or anything. But these kids were able to have that A-frame house and whatever, and it's amazing to me because now thinking of parents trying to have those huge doll houses and play sets in their little apartments and stuff.
They still make them pretty big too. You can get some pretty big dream houses.
That's true. That's true. Well, thank you so much, Barry. We're
Thank
so
you.
happy to
Thank you.
have you here.
Thanks for having me. This is fun. I'd
Awesome.
love to talk about this stuff.
Me too.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, hon.
Bye.